The quite literal mystery of a man who was at one point a warlord of the sea. Walk with me. Hello motherfuckers, welcome back to the motherfucking channel. Today we are continuing in my series of ranking the warlords, and today and this week actually is all about Hanafuda, the warlord of the sea. And he's kind of interesting. Just walk with me. We've already done Boa Hancock, Law, Buggy, Crocodile, Morio. We've done most of the warlords. We're getting there. Okay, let's get into Hanafuda. And we're going to start with Hanafuda's basic stats. Stood at 514 centimeters or 16 feet and 10 inches. That is a tall man. Okay, that is a big man. Known as King of the Lizards, and he is currently, unfortunately, deceased. I think that Hanafuda is kind of cool. I don't know, like what everything that I'm about to get into, it just kind of sounds cool to me. I want this character a little bit more fleshed out, but it is what it is. But now let's get into the basic timeline of Hanafuda. Most of his story is pretty much unknown, but what we do know is that he was pretty powerful, and he had some sort of influence if he was invited to be a warlord of the sea. And 22 years ago he became the father of Ulti, and then 20 years ago became the father of Page 1. Previous members of the Tobiropo, who was an elite squadron in the Beast Pirates Kaidou's crew. And speaking of Kaidou, Hanafuda had a special interest in collecting ancient Zoan devil fruits. He was captivated by strong individuals, and this ended up sparking a partnership between him and Kaidou, because he believed that Kaidou was going to be the next pirate king. So there's bits and pieces of that story that we just don't know anything, you know, so that's really most of what we know. So we're going to move on to his death, unfortunately. But 4 years before the present day in One Piece, he lost a fight to Porcus D. Ace. That's one of those things where I want to know more about, like, how did this fight go? You know what I'm saying? Like, what really happened? What was his power that he was using? You know, I just want to know. And soon after this, he was trying to make his way back to his children and was unfortunately killed by pirates. We don't know who killed Hanafuda, but they held a grudge against him for something that he did in his past. And it's just, wow, what a sad story to this man. He just wanted to go see his kids. Okay, that's all. He just wanted to go see his kids. And obviously lost his spot in the warlord system and was actually replaced with Kuma. And that's all we know of this character. And like I said, I kind of find him interesting, you know, like I could see him on Wano, you know, fighting somebody, you know, I could see it. Now with these warlord rankings, I like to give predictions and also a ranking, obviously. Now I don't really have any predictions for Hanafuda because ultimately he is dead. And you know what? I've come to the conclusion we don't need to see more of him. I would like to know how the Ace fight, you know, how it happened and what his power was, but ultimately he added nothing to the story. He was just a underling to a bigger bad guy, you know what I'm saying? Even his kids were bad, you know, like not adding anything great to the story, but they are good now, so there is that. And yeah, let's just let him rest in peace. And I'm going to give Hanafuda a rank D. I am, because first of all, you lost to Ace. Not to say that Ace is like a bitch or anything, but like you lost to Ace and you lost to some fodder pirates, lost your life to some fodder pirates. So it's just like, bro, I don't know. I guess I'm just more of wanted to see more of his aesthetic. You know, they call him the King of the Lizards. I wanted to know what that was all about. But it's just you weren't good. Okay, you just weren't good. There's nothing more to say. But like I said, let's let him rest in peace until I post my theory video about him that I have coming out in a couple days. So be sure to be tuned in for that. But also, like I said, go check out my other warlords in the series and my other content. You can just go and check it out. But I guess that's it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye, motherfuckers.